Good evening, everyone. Myself, Mohammad Oves Siddiqui. I am contesting for the post of Institute Sports Secretary.
Welcome, Oves. So the soapbox will begin by the presentation by candidate. It will be for 8 minutes. Time will be tapped and I can stop you in between. And then there will be questioning from the EC, Executive Council, and the spearheads. And after that, if we have time, there will be questions from GSB, if we have any GSB. And I'll begin by asking SECC related questions. So let's begin. Do you know the full form of SECC?
Yes, of course. Student Ethics and Constitutional Commission.
Okay, what is it?
It's a body which helps in organizing elections.
Don't you think it is SEC? Is there some difference between Students Ethics and Constitution Commission and Students Election Commission?
So SEC is the main body which organizes elections, and SEC will help the SEC in organizing election, and there are more roles of SEC. SECC?
Is SECC and SEC one?
No, there are two bodies.
Are the people working in the both committees are same or different?
I guess different.
Okay. So SECC and SEC are the same bodies performing different functions at different times.
No, if you're telling they are different, can you tell me the Chief Commissioner of SECC?
Chief Commissioner Sushant Singh Jaiswal.
No, that is for SEC, right? For SECC, who is the Chief Commissioner?
I think no one is there in it.
Okay, yeah, you can give your clarification.
Okay, so Students Ethics and Constitution Commission is also mandated by the Constitution to perform as a student election commission during the times of elections. And the core team of SECC is also the core team of the Student Election Commission. I think that clears your doubt. By this, with this, we'll move towards our second question. Are you aware about the recent initiative of SECC, which included the creation of POR Charter? Have you any idea about this? What is the POR Charter and what are its functions?
Sorry, I don't have any idea about this.
Okay, the POR Charter, which we call as Position of Responsibility Charter, is the initiative of SECC, in which it has streamlined the process of induction into the groups for various levels in the team, for various members in the teams. We have interpreted the rules or rule books of the various secretaries in a constitutional manner to provide easy access to students so that students can understand and secretaries can perform the selection process in the better manner. What if some secretary does not follows the verdict of SECC? What SECC can do in this context?
Outside.
For example, if you as an institute sports secretary did not comply with the verdict of Students Ethics and Constitution Commission over some case, so what action can we take on you? Do you have any idea?
No, I don't have any idea.
So in such a case, the regulatory body, which is SECC, it issues a contempt of court, which can include the sanctions, warnings, which are disciplinary warnings, and various measures which can help SECC to comply the verdict of SECC. Okay? Hope that clears. So you may now proceed to explain your presentation. You have 8 minutes.
Yeah, just one question before we move.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Can I know that what is the purpose of ISS? Like, why is ISS as a position existing in the institute? Like, what is its political role? I understand ISS is catering to one's fare in the institute, that is sports. But what is the political role of ISS? What is it supposed to do? Is it supposed to legislate laws? Is it supposed to argue for laws, interpret laws, or defend laws? Or what exactly ISS is supposed to do?
So According to me, there are three responsibility of INISS. One is to ensure the intra-hostel sports facilities to happen. Second is to take the inter-IT contingent. And the third is to ensure that all the general student body events and infrastructure to be maintained and regularly happen.
Absolutely. So if you want to change some, let's say, law or policy with respect to sports, what will you do?
Okay. So first, I will write a proposal to the SLC. First, it will be passed in the SLC. After that, it will go to the Senate. And if the Senate will approve it, then
Okay, so yeah, so to cut that short, I would simply say that the ISS is an executive council member whose work is to implement the laws,
Yeah.
okay, and to basically ideate upon laws also, right? But otherwise, I would suggest you that you lack in lot of understanding of how the democratic structure of IIT Madras work. After the soapbox, also you're free to approach us and understand how
Sure.
exactly it works.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
thank you.
Now you may proceed to your presentation. After this, we'll be having questions from Executive Council and the spearheads. So be ready with your questions. Spearheads will get, and Executive Council members will get one follow-up to ask per question. The number of questions will be decided by SEC. So be ready with your questions.
Hello, hello. Hello, yeah. Good evening, everyone. Thanks for coming to my soapbox. I am Mohammad Oves Siddiqui, a fourth-year undergraduate student from the Department of Chemical Engineering, contesting for the post of Institute Sports Secretary. My vision for the coming tenure is based on three main pillars. Reimagine the sports ecosystem of the Institute to reach peak professionalism and excellence. Revamp the sports culture of the Institute to build a more supportive and engaging environment for all. And finally, last, retaining the general championship. My manifesto is divided into four major baskets. The first basket is retaining the glory, and the first initiative under this basket is sports mess. So the idea for sports mess is emerged from the recommendation of captains and coaches to address the nutrition value of food. A dedicated sports mess will set up for 2 months in the out semester. The next initiative is Sports Physio and Inter-IT Gym. A dedicated room in the new sports complex will house an exclusive gym and a physiotherapist, which will serve as a specialized training center for the Inter-IT contingent. Next is Strategic Edge, which is the establishment of a dedicated team room in the new Gymkhana building, aiming to serve as a hub for strategic discussions and tactical trainings. And finally, the last point in my first basket is Sports Injury Allowance. So, Sports Injury Allowance is a dedicated fund dedicated to the Inter-IT probables, which will who got injured in the Inter-IT or during the practice times. So they can avail this fund based on their recommendations. Coming to the second basket, which is Bonds Beyond Field. The first initiative under this basket is Clubhouse, a dedicated space for relaxation and socializing, equipped with recreational amenities such as foosball, carom, chess, and other fun activities to engage the more general student bodies. And next is Sports Conclave in Sportfest, establishing a sports conclave within Sportfest, offering a multifaceted experience beyond the sports arena. The main aim of this to involve as much as possible general student body who are not involved in any of the sporting team, so to make it more inclusive to everyone. And the last is Sports Audit. So a dedicated system facilitating a systematic evaluation of sports facilities across hostel at Insti, and to improve the hostel facilities. Blazing turf. The introduction of a new turf in the new sports complex will serve as an enhancement in the sporting infrastructure of our institute, especially catering to the needs of hockey and football enthusiasts during the rainy season. This turf will serve as a multi-sport and it will be open for general student body as well. My third basket is diversity and inclusivity, and my first initiative under this is NSO Kho-Kho and Kabaddi. So including an indigenous sport like Kho-Kho and Kabaddi in the National Sports Organization, which will aim to celebrate and promote the diverse culture heritage of Indian sports. Second is female gym trainer, introducing a dedicated female gym trainer, ensuring comfort, safety, and promoting active participation in fitness activities. Summer PG League. The Summer PG League aims to promote the sports culture in the PG sphere, for which a PG League will be organized during the summer break for the UG student. The league will be comprising of major 4 events, which will be football, cricket, badminton, and volleyball, in which can be changed according to the feedbacks from the PG representatives. Swimming workshop for freshers. A week-long program offered structured swimming lessons to enhance the skills and promote fitness among freshers. And the final basket, which is Digital Connect, and my first initiative under this is Sports Course. Introducing a sports course for the Inter-IT contingent people, which will delve with the critical domains such as sports nutrition, sports psychology, injury prevention, and rehabilitation. The second initiative under this basket is Digital Connect, so developing a digital system to effectively manage and monitor sports equipments, enhancing the efficiency and management. It will also help the captains to make the budget priorly. Alumni Reach Committee. The establishment of the Alumni Reach Committee is a strategic endeavor that aims to secure funds for the specific needs of the sports teams and within INSTI. It will work together with the INDR office and with captains. It will help the captains in making proposals and getting the funding easily. And finally, sports calendar. The introduction of a sports calendar is aimed with the view that both general student body and contingents are kept informed about all the sporting events scheduled throughout the year. Now, I would like to tell you about my involvement in sports in Institute. Currently, I am the head of Sports Organizing Committee. I was the contingent leader in the Inter-IIT Sports Meet at Roorkee in 2022, where I led the men's contingent to General Championship. I am currently the vice captain of Institute football
You have
team.
2 minutes to wrap up.
I am the vice captain of the Institute football team, and we won the bronze medal in Inter-IIT 2023. I was the Alaknanda Hostel sports secretary in my second year, where I led the hostel to runner-up in the Shoiters. I've been playing football from my childhood. I have represented Madhya Pradesh in under 14 national team. That's my time. Thank you, guys.
Now we'll move towards easy questions and questions from spearheads. Candidate will get 2 minutes to explain main questions and 45 seconds to explain the follow-up.
Yeah, it's working. Hi, always. So I'll start off with few questions, then I'll give it to EC members and I'll get it back if that's okay. Okay. So, firstly, tell us about our inter-IT standings this year and how much points did we get? Men's standings, women's standings.
So this time we won 5 gold medals: TT women's, TT men's, basketball women's, water polo, and basketball women's. We got silver in TT women's. We got bronze in 6 sports: football, hockey, volleyball women's, tennis men's, badminton women's, and chess. And we got 4th position in 3 events: athletics, swimming, and weightlifting. And we got overall points, 32 points in women's, 34 in women's, and 52 in men's tally.
We also got 4th in cricket, you missed that.
Oh,
So, what is the number of GCs that IIT Madras have won?
it's
Is it
24.
a second question or a follow-up?
It's a second question actually.
Okay.
Yeah.
We have won 24 general championship till now, out of 56 inter-ITs.
Okay. And what is, like, can you explain about the 4 parts of the budget and an approximate, what is the estimate for this year as well?
Okay, so there are 4 parts in budget. Part A is MHRD budget, Part B is stack budget, Part C is for NSO, and Part D is for any infrastructure changes and for the alumni budget.
Yeah, and how much does each have?
So Part A, the budget will be around 1.5 crore. Part B, this time we got around 88 lakhs. Part C, it's NSO budget, it depends every year. And Part D is also alumni funding budgets. There is not an upper limit of it.
Okay. Finally, like, can you explain about your tenure as SOC head and what did you do throughout the year?
So as my tenure as associate head went very great. We started with Spotify for the freshers, which we got very huge participants. We got around 250 participants as a freshers, which was very great for SOC. Next, we also organized sports quizzes in collaboration with Quiz Club, and we organized Speak Olympics, Sports Speak Olympics, and finally, we helped organizing Sport Fest, and we did a speaker calling. We called Shankar Basu to give a speech on injury prevention and health nutrition.
So you do agree it went great and nothing better could have been done?
So I think with the resources we have, I think we did better.
Okay, and I feel that, we could,
Yeah, we
there's
could
a lot
do
of
bet-
scope
there-
for
There is a
improvement.
lot of scope just
And
because of the budget constraint and the approval. We didn't got approval. That was the main reason we didn't do more events.
okay, Tejasvi, like they want to go, so.
Yeah. Hello, Wes. So, I have one question from your manifesto. It's this summer PG league. So, you
Yes.
plan to have a league of PG students in the summer vacations, and like no UG students will be available. So, currently, like related to this, only how many PG students you have in your SOC team?
So currently we have two PGs in our associate team. One is PG rep and another is Forest Gump convener. So next year what I'm planning is to get a separate team of PG representative under him. He will recruit 3-4 coordinators, PG coordinators who will help him in organizing PG league in summers.
Okay, so 3-4 coordinators for like every sports
And-
or?
Yeah, not for every sports, total 3-4 sports, and SOC will also help him in organizing the
Like
summer.
SOC will have UG students, na? Mostly how can they come to help in the
They can
summer?
help in ideating and organizing, not on ground, but off ground they can help.
And it's like mostly in every league, one of the students only come as a referee or something. So what is your plan for this?
Sorry, I didn't get.
Like in many leagues that we have, like somebody from the insti team comes for refereeing or something. So for this also something similar will be done, or you'll have,
Yeah, similar thing will be done.
so like for all these sports you will have some people.
So major 4 sports we are planning to organize, which will have a more participation of PGs.
Okay.
So I have 2 quick questions for you. One is regarding the new sports course that you are introducing. So can you quickly explain what's the process of introducing any course in IIT Madras?
Okay, so the process of introducing any course, the first thing is the professor should agree to take the course. So there are 7 courses under NPTEL this year related to sports, and I want one of them courses to offered offline. I am already in touch with the current instructor. He is agreeing to come and offer the course offline. I have also talked with the HS department HOD, and I have shared all the details of what content should I want in the course and what's the timeline and everything.
So under which department the course would be offered?
HS department.
And have you taken the feasibility from either HSHOD, Academic Affairs Secretary or Dean
Visibility
AC?
from HSHOD and the instructor also and Dean Acad also.
Right. So you have missed out on one important process of getting a course officially approved. Do you know about it?
It should pass through the CNET.
Before that? Before Senate? There is
Before
an,
CNET.
so before Senate it should go through the Board of
SLC.
Academic Courses,
Board of
not SLC.
BOS, sorry.
BAC. Board of Academic
Board of
Courses.
Acad- okay.
Okay, so the second question is about the alumni reach committee that you have mentioned.
Yeah.
So what is your plan with it?
So my plan is so before starting of the tenure, I will ask all the captains to submit one proposal of how much money they want, how they will use the money, and what is your requirement. We'll submit the proposal in the ARC office, and there they will initiate and will give the database of all the alumni also with it of previous sports people who are with us, and with this the ARC office. There is a team under him. They will ask the alumni for the fundings. They will request all the.
Yeah, 2 clarifications always. So it's ACR office, Alumni and Corporate Relation
ACR
office.
office.
And then how will you ensure that you actually get the funds? Because if you go and check the Joy of Giving website, there are numerous projects lined up and most of them have like 15 lakhs, 20 lakhs in demand and they have received 0 amount till now. So how will you ensure that you actually get
So we'll
those funds?
share a proper history of IIT Madras sports. As in like we recently won general championship last year. We'll share all our like previous experiences and everything, and we'll push them to give funding.
The major issue lies with the outreach. Do you have any plan? How can you assist the office in outreach?
We have already initiated reaching out to alumni, and we are collecting a database of all alumni, which will help in getting more funding. alumni related to sports who
It would
played
be
indirectly
students would
before.
be-
Huh?
It would be students who would be assisting the officer, students from
Yes.
your sphere,
Yes.
if I'm fine, yeah.
Yeah. So one question related to the SLC. So when you propose any your rule book change or budget, what will be the process you will follow to put your agenda in the SLC?
So I think this year there is some changes, I guess.
Ah, yeah,
First, you
yeah.
need to send the proposal to the so the legislator who are working with you. After the approval of
Like, can you name that committee? There are committees that work in SLC.
okay, one is standing committee and ad hoc committee.
Which of them will be working with you?
Standing committee.
Yeah. So then you send it to.
So we'll send it the proposal to the standing committee. After the approval of the standing committee, the agenda will be reached to the SLC.
Yeah. And one more question, like this, the Part B budget you have. So the problem we faced in last 2 years is that the stack gives money to this SOC and all before even passing from SLC. So how do you think you can solve this? Like this year, Aditya also raised this point, but some money from stack was given to the sports fair even before passing from SLC. So do you think is it correct, and if not, like how can you solve it?
So it's not correct. So first I will ask all the members who are involved in it, and will make a proper statement that the budget after the approval from the SLC only we can use the budget. Before that you can't use it.
Okay, fine.
Okay, so let's go into your manifesto points. So the first point where you've talked about creating a sports mess where you'll be catering to 300 people. I'm assuming they are probables for 2 months. So, like, you know the current cost for 15 days of inter-IT main camp for 170 people itself is around 20 lakhs. So, how do you plan to manage the budget?
So the current cost is 600 per day for the sports mess. So we'll be reducing it and expanding it for 2 months. So for 2 months, the cost would be around 250 per day. So it won't take too much budget.
So you're planning for 250 per day for 300 people for 2 months.
Yes.
So what the normal mess fees is 141 rupees. So what extra do you plan to give in this?
Regularly milk, eggs, and more nutritious foods like more nutritious vegetables and eggs and milk every day.
Okay, eggs, milk we get in normal mess also.
But it's not like you will get only 1 egg per day.
Like instead
It
of
will be unlimited.
yeah, eggs is is manageable even in some other way. Like you can create a athlete's subscription or something like that.
Sure.
So what if say how will you make sure these 300 people will come to inter-IT mess and eat for 2 whole months? Because a lot of people would want to even eat with their friends. Like during main camp, you're with the team, you're training with the team, so you'll come together and eat. But that's only for 15 days. But during the semester, what is your plan? Are you going to force the inter-IT contingent to come and?
I won't force them specially, but will request them to go together through the captains. We'll ask all the captains to make sure that everyone is dining together and have a team bonding from the minicamp itself.
So you're going to request them, but you're going to pay them. What if that person decides to not go to the inter-IT mess, but Gymkhana is still paying mess fees
So
for
first
them?
we'll ask all the inter-IT people who are interested in getting the mess. Then only we'll give the number to the caterers.
So if say the captain himself is not willing to go to the mess, no, what?
So it's his choice. We can't do anything.
I think you should work on the planning part and execution part a bit more. And if you're implementing something for the whole contingent, even if all the contingent members are really not into it, maybe you should sometimes make a strong decision and implement it.
Sure.
Okay, and next is about the female gym trainer. So right now we have a specific time for women's from 3:30 to 5:30, but that's during classes, and that's one reason why a lot of women still are reluctant to go to the gym. So even if you provide a trainer, will there be a specific gym, say Sabar or Badra or Tunga, or will it be the institute gym? And also, do you have any plans to change the timings to increase participation?
So the gym will be the institute gym, but there will be regular sessions in the hostels by the female gym trainers, once at a time, to give the basic idea of how to use the machine and what all basic exercise to do. After that, there are changes in the timings. I have talked with the faculty advisor. Is ready to make to give 2 slots for the female, one in the morning and one in the evening, and the evening slot will be from 4 to 6.
And morning slot?
Morning slot till not decided. We'll first share the Google form with all the women, and based on their feedback, we'll decide the slot.
Okay, the problem would be if you're like during morning the gym is very crowded, especially 6 to 7, 7 to 8. So if you're going to give one of the slots to only women, like there's going to be a lot of repercussions. Have you
We are
thought about
getting one more gym in the new sports complex, so I think the issue won't be there.
There you have mentioned you'll only keep it for inter-IT
So it
contingent.
will be for inter-IT in the odd semester. Priority will be given to inter-IT, but students can also make use of it.
So what's the difference between that gym and this old gym, whatever? Because you have mentioned it will be a high performance gym. So I'm assuming equipment, everything is going to be high tech, and and now you're also saying you'll leave any random student in the gym and use it. So how do you plan to maintain it?
So first, based on the availability of the gym, we'll make the upper limit of the gym. Let's say it's 50. So based on the first come first service, anyone can come to the gym, and if there is any team gym session is there, so priority will be given to the contingent team. And if there is no one from the contingent has any session in the gym, so general student body can go and have the facilities.
Okay, fine. So about blazing turf. So right now they have planned a rooftop tennis court. So, and they've had some kind of covering. So I hope you know that currently we don't have permission to put a roof. So what's the point in having a turf without a roof?
So we can have nets around it.
Still not going to stop rainfall falling on the turf. Nets have holes.
Like plastic nets, which will restrict water coming to come.
Okay.
Like a
Tarpaul. Yes, that is roofing. That becomes roofing.
not.
I think you should focus on drainage. So if you have a good drainage system, I think then it would be good. Right? Current outdoor facilities like football ground, hockey ground, like lacks in that. So you should invest on drainage, like that is important. And yeah, it will be good if you can put the turf for the contingent, especially for hockey, football.
Sure.
So yeah, one more question before I give the mic to heads and captains. So you say that you are introducing Kabaddi and Kho. So this so much years we have fought for Kabaddi. How did you get permission this year?
So this year, I have talked with the sports advisor. We'll start with NSO Kabaddi, where under the surveillance of the coach, first the coach will train all the students for the basic techniques and everything, and it will under the surveillance of coach only you can play the sport. Rest of that you can't play the sport. In the hostel zone also it will be restricted.
Okay.
And the dean of student is agreeing with it, and I have.
Okay. Yeah, it's a good move. So heads and captains.
So let's move towards the spearheads.
Hi, Ovis. So I have a couple of questions. The first one is this year, because of certain issues that you also know, we could not officially get sponsors for Sports Fest, etc. So in this context, do you think the sponsor and PR vertical will continue to exist in SOC next year? And if yes, will they have any new or changed responsibilities from what was there this year?
Yeah, so next year sponsors and PR vertical will continue. I have talked with the Dean of Student. He is ready to have sponsors for the Sport Fest and for the Inter-IT also. He is ready to get sponsor for getting the flight tickets and everything. So we'll go with the sponsors and PR team next year. And we'll plan accordingly. We'll start early to get all the deals and everything.
Right. And regarding your manifesto, there are 2 points: strategic edge and clubhouse. As far as I'm aware, both of them are about creating a room in the new Gymkhana building to bond and relax, etc. So how are the two essentially different?
So strategic edge will be the room for the contingent people where they can have a team discussion. The room will facilitate with the projector and whiteboard where coaches and captains can come and ask, have a discussion with their team members. It will be for the contingent people only. And the clubhouse will be for the general student body, which will have fun activities like foosball, table tennis, chess, carom, where anyone can go and relax and chill out.
Right. Okay. My last question is, you've mentioned something about an alumni outreach committee. I just want to know what their position will be in the hierarchy. Will they be within SOC, etc.? And secondly, will the sponsorship from alumni be used for SOC purposes as well, or is it for different purposes?
So it will be under IS's executive committee, and the money will be used for the sports, Inter-IT sports, not for SOC.
Okay. Thank you, Wes. I'll just pass it on to someone else.
Yeah. Hello, Is. So my question is, can you please elaborate a little bit about the sports quota that we are going to have from the next batch?
What?
And yeah, one more. Are there any steps that IIT Madras is planning to take to make it more beneficial for the people that are selected through the sports quota, like providing some extra facilities to them?
I didn't got sports mess you're talking about?
Sports quota, I am telling.
Achha, sports quota. Okay, so next year we are getting sports quota, so in which we'll be having 2 seats per department, in which 1 seat will be for the women's and other seat will be gender neutral. And the eligibility criteria for the seats, first is you need to qualify JE, and after that there will be the points-based system based on their experience in sports. You need to have one medal in the national or international sports. So based on the certificates and medals, points will be calculated, and the so the for getting a seat in IIT Madras, it will be through IIT Madras. JOSA won't be handling this. So based on the points, seat will be allocated in the IIT Madras.
Yeah.
Yeah, so hi OS. My question is regarding your point on Clubhouse. So how are you going to plan and organize the, how are you going to manage the footfall of the Clubhouse?
Okay, so footfall of a clubhouse. So similarly to the gym, like how we handle gym, like based on the first come first service, whoever will come, we'll put up upper limit on the clubhouse, like let's say 100 people can come and at a time. So there will be a guard who will keep a note of the number of entries, and after the limit is reached, we won't let anyone to go inside. And there will be a specific time limit, like after 1 hour you need to leave the room, like that. You can't stay for more than a particular time limit.
Okay. So why do you think there is a need of centralized building as a clubhouse? Since each hostel has a room allocated for entertainment purpose, such as TV room and sports room. So why do you think there is a centralized building space needed for that?
So currently we don't have anything in the Gymkhana where people can come and have chill with their friends. Like in the hostels you're saying about, only the hostel people can socialize with themselves. But if there is something in the Gymkhana, all the hostels together can come, and all from the different departments, people can come and share their thoughts and enjoy it together.
Okay, great.
Hi, always. Okay. So compared to all other verticals like Sangam or in any other different field, I would say SOC doesn't have that much of a recognition till now. So be it the event participation or the applications for the posts in SOC and stuff. So how would you plan to revive the fields of, sports is one of the major part of Insta life in a lot of people. So how would you plan to revive that culture, be it from people wanting to volunteer to these events, participate and stuff?
So for the next year, we'll start recruiting people from the starting of the tenure. So last year we started quite late, so we didn't get a lot of participants. But from next year, we'll start early. So we'll get a good kind of people in the team, and we'll have a proper timeline for the full year. We have having a sports calendar where we can put our full timelines for the semester, like what all events we can do, and we can start planning beforehand. And by introducing more events for the general student body, I think we can revive the culture in the institute.
Hello. Hey, you mentioned something about flight tickets for next IIT, right?
Yes.
Okay. Is there anything currently in place to streamline the reimbursement process for those who had to fly to Bombay or Gandhinagar this year? Is something set up for that?
Currently, it's not there currently. Like if in some emergency cases only you will get the ticket. If you have some NSEMs or something like that, then only you will get flight tickets for it. But rest, you will be getting third class AC tickets.
Okay, so this has actually been a problem for most PG students over the years, but you might have heard PhD scholars, especially in the contingent, usually fly directly to the venue in order to save time. And I am not aware if there was any reimbursement done over the years for any of the students. So if now you can consider something.
Yeah, sure. So next year we can have the alumni, sponsor monies for the people.
No, I'm saying those who went for IIT last year to Bombay and Gandhinagar. So in the current tenure, you will be taking up tenure soon. So
firstly, I will try to settle it up before the next tenure start. So we'll talk with the Gymkhana, PTIs and everything, and we'll make sure that you will get all the reimbursement process and everything.
Okay, and another question. You also spoke about having some PG representatives or coordinators in your team. Apart from the PG representative?
Same for women's representative also, we'll be having coordinators under her. 3-4 coordinators who will be helping her in organizing beginner sessions and all the events for the women's.
Okay, as you were SOC head this year, can you tell me any 2-3 concerns that were raised from PG students through a PG representative, and what was done to solve that problem? Anything that happened this year?
Especially for the PGs, right?
Yeah. Did it come through a PG representative? Was there anything that you came across?
So till now I didn't got anything from the PG representative about any issues related to anything.
Okay. Okay. So of course there are a lot of issues with students, I'm sure. There is no proper process or route to convey to the ISS or anybody in SOC, and usually we don't tend to spend time on it because we do not have time for that, right? So it'll be nice if there's something in place for that.
Sure, we'll take care.
Thank you.
Any more questions from heads? Any GSB member here who has questions? Does EC have some question? Okay.
Okay, so this is about sports quota. So do you think it's fair for people who really studied hard and want to come here and pick up a sport or enjoy the sport. They have played at a not so high level, but come here and enjoy it. Because we are going to get 30 students every year, and every one of them are going to make the contingent for sure. So in a span of 5 years, we'll only have sports quota people representing inter-IIT. So what do you see? What's the future?
So I feel it is fair for it, because if we are having reservation quota, so similarly sports quota also work for same only. And coming to the next 5 years, so I think the sports quota people will help the other general student body to enhance their skill set and everything. They will motivate the people and will like, I don't feel that in the coming 5 years the contingent will be full of sports quota, and there are people who are very good in sports, who are studying and playing sports properly.
So you're going to say that people who are coming here in sports quota, through sports quota, will not make the inter-IIT contingent?
They will make it, but other than that sports quota also we have people who have the talented, and they will also compete with them.
Yeah, but what you say for a average, academically good person who wants to come here and pursue sport, but they won't be able to do. They'll become like any other NSO person who just, is able to play during the NSO, and after that, because of our constraints of coaches and also the facilities and the timings, they'll not be able to pursue that sport even on an intercollegiate level. So, do you really, what solution do you have for these people who've really worked hard academically and come here and want to, play sports at least at an intercollegiate level?
So what I feel is the people who are coming through sports quota, so coach don't need to have more involvement on them. Like, he don't need to focus more on them. So he can divert his focus to the other NSO and other contingent people, and he will try to make them to enhance their more skill set and training.
So, yeah, it's a fair solution. But one thing that I would like to say is maybe think in terms of, I don't think it'll happen in your tenure.
So we can have some
limit in terms of sports quota per people, because I do believe that, sports is also for the people who've really studied hard, and they should also be given a fair chance to represent IIT Madras at inter-IIT. So it may not come in your tenure, but in the future. And we'll be hosting inter-IIT 2025. So what do you think of the current infrastructure? Are we good enough to go?
So after getting the new sports complex, I think we are in a good, we have a good sporting infrastructure. We can host the inter-IIT in 2025.
What facilities will be there in the new sports complex?
So the ground floor will be of badminton courts, and the second floor will be of TT tables, TT room. Apart from that, we will be having one common multi-sport for basketball and volleyball. And on the top floor, we are having a turf for football and hockey.
The common basketball, volleyball, where will it be? Which floor?
Ground floor.
Badminton courts then?
So there are two places. One side will be the 6 badminton courts, and one small side is there which will be having one common court for the basketball and volleyball.
There's no smaller side. Only badminton courts are there in the new sports complex. So, do you have any idea about new sports complex 3?
I have heard of it. It will be on the place of the 2 tennis court. And the tennis court will get a place near the Camp Last. 5 tennis court will get in next 2 years.
So, do you think that, this construction can be finished before inter-IIT? Because we'll have to show our facilities in the coming February board meeting, not this February, 2025 February, after our inter-IIT, and then only we'll get the official authority. So
if we have 7 good sport facilities, I think then we can host the inter-IIT. So I think we have 7 sport facilities good sports facilities.
Can you name them?
Football, hockey, badminton, TT, athletics, cricket, and weightlifting.
Badminton? Are you sure?
But we are getting new badminton courts right now.
Okay, fine. Yeah, so see, but I think this will be the major challenge in your tenure is to get the infrastructure ready because there is a lot of constraints in terms of the timeliness of the work is done. New sports complex was supposed to be opened in November, but still it is not yet opened. So I would suggest you to seriously make a plan for inter-IT and even, maybe make a inter-IT committee or something. And
Okay.
because if for some reason, if we don't meet the quality checks for hosting inter-IT and, the kind of legacy we have as in the sports, inter-IT sports meet, it would be a shame. So
Sure.
yeah, please do focus on inter-IT 2025. Final one question. So, what do you think went right this time that we won the GC? What was different from the other 11 years, or at least the 1 year in which you were there?
So what I feel is this time we had more team bonding within team as well as in inter teams also. All the captains were bonded well. And one more thing, I don't know it happened like the cyclone thing also. I don't know it's true or not, but it also kind of helped. Like for the last 2 years, we are training very rigorously in the main camp, which affects the performance in the inter-IT. So this time we didn't practice well in the main camp. So I think this is one of the reason we performed well in the inter-IT. So next year, what we can do is we can have the main camp little bit like less for less training and all.
How are you going to convince the coaches and the gymkhana? Because they are very old-fashioned people. This time we were forced. I agree with this point, and I also think this contributed because people were rested enough. But how are you going to convince the coaches? Because the mindset of any coach or even any player is, during the inter-IT main camp, we'll have to train as hard as possible for even 6-7 hours in the sun, etc., and push ourselves beyond limits.
So we'll show them the results of previous inter-ITs. Like last inter-ITs without training, we won the general championship. I think now they will agree with this.
I think one solution would be to make the captains understand this. Like, it's not, we didn't train at all. We focused on fitness and also a lot of other things, but it's important for captains also to pass the knowledge to the future incoming captains about the same bonding and stuff. So as an ISS and also as an SOC head, you worked and you were closely with the contingent. So make sure the knowledge transfer is proper and the captains are firm in their stance, especially when it comes to making training plans or, like communicating this to the admin and making sure that we take the final decision. We are not forced to do anything.
Sure.
Yeah, I think all my questions are done. Yeah, fine. Like, do you plan to bring in, like we had Empower Her this time and there were 253 participants across all sports. And we did it for sports like cricket and football also, where people are willing to come for practice regularly. But the problem is, because of the too much crowd and, coach is not able to focus on women separately, and because of poor coaching and poor motivation, they don't come after NSO. So I had proposed a female coach for both cricket and football. So it has not been like executed yet, even though I've got the approval. So do you plan to push it? And if you're going to do it, how are you going
So
to?
after seeing a good participation from the women side in these beginner sessions, I'm planning to make it throughout the semester. Throughout the semester, in every weekend, we'll be having one sport beginner sessions, which will be organized by the women representative, and under her, the coordinators will be helping in organizing the event.
You didn't answer my question.
So can you repeat it again?
Are you going to bring in a female cricket coach and a football coach?
So in the last meeting with advisor, he told me that the thing is approved right now, but just you need to search for a female female trainer So after we find a suitable trainer for the women's, we can recruit her.
Okay. And do you have any plans to push women's cricket, football, or even powerlifting, weightlifting in the next inter-IT board meet? What things are you going to push in the next inter-IT board meet?
So like, so after playing 2-3 years, like till now we don't have a proper cricket women's team or football team, so we can't directly propose it into inter-IT. So after, if we have if we developed a cricket team for football and women's properly, then only I will be in the position to propose in the inter-IT.
So I think it's the other way. When you push it in the inter-IT, then when things will happen in IIT Madras. So I think you should go forward to it. Yeah, so about flight. So you're going to get sponsors and you're going to try it.
Yeah.
I hope you succeed, but what about the train journey? The train journey is probably the most memorable part of, inter-IT for a lot of people. So that's going to get cut off.
Yeah, it's true, but main aim should be to get general championship back. So I think we can come through trains, but the main thing is we can go through flights, because in train it's too much tiring and everyone will be exhausted. And next year the inter-IT is in Indore and Kanpur, which will take around 28 hours to reach the venue. So it's too tiring. So I believe for going it will be better if we get flight tickets, and while coming back we can come with trains with your team contingent.
And how are you going to book them? 170 people and excess baggage, pole vaults, cricket kits.
So we need to book it purely. We need to contact one agent from the airline. So with the consultation with him, we'll book and
train tickets is an issue because teams are finalized probably 10 days before inter-IT. So you're going to book flight tickets, but I don't think you can, change identity.
So I think it's there in flight tickets also. If you book the full flight, so there is some time limit. Before that, you can change the names and everything.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. That's it from my side. So, if anyone has any other questions.
Yeah, if there are no more questions, we can finish it off. Okay, we'll take this last question and we'll wind it up.
Yeah, so my question is about how much effort you have put for this post. So how much time did you spend for this manifesto? And your manifesto looks really good.
So I'm working for my master from the last 2 years. I was planning to put for the institute sports secretary from last 2 years. So I've started my journey from that. I was adding points one by one every day, what I was thinking, like what all changes should be done in the sporting sphere and everything. So it's not a one day preparation. It will it came through a long process.
Okay, we'll take the last question and we'll wind it up soon.
Hello, my question is regarding the sports audit point mentioned in your manifesto. As you're well aware that the sporting facilities in various hostels has a lot of issues. You know that there are hostel secretaries who are not giving their best to get the sports facilities at the peak. So how you'll make sure that the dedicated system that you have been mentioning in your manifesto will help the sports facilities better? And how will you form the committee that will be working for the sports audit?
So the FR team will be working for the sports audit. So this is the main issue, like hostel secretaries are not working through their sports. So while introducing a sports audit, we'll be having a dedicated system of giving points to the hostels, and based on the points will be allocated in the Schroeter and overall table. So this is the initiative that the hostel secretaries will start working to get the infrastructure and sporting facilities, to improve the sporting facilities.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much, all of you, for joining us. We are running out of time.
You know, this year we won in the margin of 0.25 points. That was because of March Past. So this year, what plans for March Past?
So this year, one of my manifesto point is Schroeter Fields. So we'll start the Schroeter and Dean's Trophy with the opening ceremony.
That is coming after Inter-IT. I'm talking about Inter-IT.
It's coming, okay. So from next year onwards, will be...
I'm sure KGP is going to practice March Past every week. So what are you going to do about it? How are you going to prepare for it?
So we'll also start preparing for the March Past early, like not regularly, but from mini camp onwards, we'll start practicing a March Past once a week. And in the team bonding sessions also, we can start introducing March Past, and we can have it as like a fun event where we can give tasks to the teams to show some March Past and something kind of like that.
Thank you everyone for joining us. Stay tuned. Stay tuned for the next soapboxes and also contribute to our Operation 100 because remember, every vote matters. Thank you so much. Good night, everyone.
Thank you, everyone.